Hi, beautiful friends. Welcome to Dearly Not So Departed podcast. It's lovely to have you today. Thank you for listening in. I appreciate your support. I am here for you. I want you to take away from these sessions, these segments. I want you to walk away feeling good and knowing that your loved ones, your dearly not so departed loved ones, are always with you, focusing on you, loving you so much, and they want you to ask them for guidance, for help, and they are always there, and they're always going to jump right in. They're not going to insert themselves into your life, but they're going to be there to support you and to help you if you ask. That's the key. You have to ask for their guidance, but they love you so much, and uh, these experiences are just so precious to me. And I mentioned in my last one about the easy button. Here's my easy button.
That was easy.
I love my easy button.
That was easy.
It's just funny and it makes me laugh, and it's just a way that they can also communicate. The other thing I want to say is that the way they communicate with us, it's really easy. They send us thoughts. So the best way I know how to describe it is you'll get a thought will pop in your head, and that's not necessarily you. That is your dearly not so departed loved ones downloading a thought in your mind, and that's so beautiful, and that's the easiest thing for them to do. And when they start doing things like a book flying off of the shelf or my easy button going off, they can do it, but it definitely takes more effort on their part, if you want to call it effort, because remember, in non-physical, there's no biology. There's no flesh, blood, and bony body. They don't have eyes, they don't have a nose, they don't have a mouth, they don't have teeth, they don't have arms and legs and all of that. They're just energy. And the way I look at it is they're just like an energetic a ball of liquid love. That's what I love to call it. But so the physical, when they give us physical signs, it does take it's a little more is involved for them, but it doesn't matter. They love all of it. Let me reassure you, they love all of it. So what I wanted to share today, and this was such a blessing in my life. This was about 10 years, a little over 10 years, maybe 11 years ago. And I had lived in a townhouse. I rented a townhouse for about 3.5 years. And like just after the 3-year mark, or right as I was coming up on it, my landlord, he worked for a company, and he had taken an overseas assignment like in Europe. So he was going to be gone for 2.5 years. So he wanted me to make sure that I stayed, and it would have been a hassle for him to have to deal with, somebody moving out in case I did, but that was never my plan at the time. But I reached out to him in email, and I said, hey, I'm just touching base with you, because he was still overseas. I just wanted to see, because I didn't know if he was going to move back in his townhome when he came back from overseas or what. And so I reached out to him, and he's like, no, I'm going to move downtown, so we're good. So, and the reason that I reached out to him is that I kind of wanted to plan for it, financially. I just wanted to, it's what felt right at the time. So lo and behold, fast forward to the end of the year, November, and it's right before Thanksgiving, and I get an email from my landlord saying that he is coming back, and that he is now he's going to raise the rent. He's going to raise it like substantially, and rightly so. He had given me a good deal, but I just didn't feel like at that time I could pay more. And so I was freaked out. I didn't know what to do, because I wasn't prepared, I was humaning. I was not looking at the situation from a spiritual perspective. I was looking at it with my logical mind. That button had been activated, and I was looking at it through that lens. And I want to promise you that that's never a fun way to look at anything, because in that situation, in that example, there aren't endless possibilities. But when I look at it through the spiritual lens and with my connection to my source, then there are endless possibilities. So anyways, I was lamenting, I was bummed because I hadn't planned on moving. I don't like to move. I hadn't planned on moving, but I had options. I could choose to stay and pay the rental increase. But I just knew something else was out there. So I just kind of didn't do anything for a red hot minute. And I think the next day, within a day or two, it was Thanksgiving. And so I went and to for Thanksgiving with my family, with my cousin and her family and my aunt and uncle. And my cousin and I were in the kitchen, kind of hanging out, talking, trying to help my aunt. And somehow we get on the subject of this handheld can opener that was pretty cool. It wasn't anything really fancy, but it was just really, really cool. And I don't know, it was just really weird because, we went on a tangent for probably 5 minutes talking about this handheld can opener that my aunt had. And so, I remember it very vividly and just thought, that's interesting. We had this conversation for quite some time about this can opener and didn't think much of it. And the next day, the day after Thanksgiving, it was a holiday, work holiday, so I didn't have to work. And lo and behold, I get a text from my neighbor that I didn't see right away. She was a very precious, sweet young woman and who lived behind me in the townhouses. She owned a townhouse, and she had texted me, and I didn't see it for a couple of hours because I didn't look at my phone. But anyway, she was looking for a can opener. And I just, it made me laugh because the day before on Thanksgiving, I just had this, long conversation with my cousin about a can opener, but she wanted to borrow a can opener. She couldn't find ours. So it was incredibly funny, and just the timing of it. But it just goes to show how spirit and how our spiritual team and our dearly not so departed loved ones work. So I saw it and I texted her back a couple hours later. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't see your text. Do you still need a can opener? And she's like, no. And I said, well, bummer, I'm not going to be your neighbor much longer. I'm probably going to be moving out. And she said, wait a minute. She said, I'm probably going to be looking for a roommate. And she said, I'm getting ready to leave. She was getting on a plane to go visit her aunt for Thanksgiving. And she said when she got back that we would get together and talk about it. So in one fell swoop, I had a place to move to, and it was easy because it was in the building right behind the townhouse where I was living. And I just adored this young woman. She was great. I had initially met her a few years before that. I knew we were both single girls, and our garages were in the back of our townhouses. And it was about 10 o'clock at night, and I came home and I noticed that her garage door was still up. And so I felt the impulse to go ring her front doorbell at 10 o'clock at night and let her know that her garage door was up. And she was very appreciative of that. And then we wouldn't hang out or talk even a lot, but we would see each other every now and then. And then she went on a missionary trip and asked me to keep an eye on her townhouse while she was gone, which I did. And it was a beautiful thing. And she was a wonderful, wonderful person, just very kind and loving. And I so appreciate that and that experience. But you just, you have to be open to the possibilities because, like I say, our dearly not so departed ones, our spiritual team, God, angels, the universe, can bring solutions to us in a plethora of ways. And who would have ever thought that a solution would have come from a conversation about a can opener, or somebody needing to borrow a can opener? So, it's, the possibilities are endless. And I just want to say that, it really is easy.
That was easy.
Life gets to be that easy for us because we're making that choice. So, all right. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Until next time. Bye.